BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during games. Think you know your stuff? Get in on our $200,000 mega contest and pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance at weekly.
Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that?
Yeah. Boogie like Vincent, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Vincent, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a Falcon. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shade for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Don't matter who did what to who at this point. Fact is, we went to war, and now there ain't no going back. I mean, shit, it's what war is, you know? Once you in it, you in it. If it's a lie, then we fight on that lie. But we gotta fight.
Victories next.
Take us to the final drive here. Talk about the interception.
We knew he was gonna give us one all game. Like everybody want to bet on. They thought they had us on a little 7 round the lobby. Okay, cool. But they nothing go over our head all day. Oh, cool. It's cool. It's cool. We got the best secondary, best D-line, best front 7 in the league right now. And I'm popping it. Because at the end of the day, they say we was down and out. They talking about last week. Now look at you now.
That's been the top offense in the league coming into today. What you guys do?
Top what? Top what?
The Saints.
Top what?
In terms of points.
Top what?
You're at it.
Top what? Ain't nothing get over that top from.
Okay.
Shout out to Slade, shout out to Q, shout out to Vontae, shout out to Reed, shout out to Ringo, shout out to Coach CP, shout out to Coach JK. Hey, man, best secondary in the league. That's the case.
What'd you have to play through today?
We ain't play through nothing. Play through my teammates. I'm not worried about somebody. Listen, we keep receipts. That's what I told y'all in my room. See y'all Sunday. I told y'all the day before. They got rid of me. I ain't get rid of them. It's still in me. It's still tatted on me. I ain't worried. Come on, do another one. Man, we put our head down and get that taste out your mouth, bro. I feel so relief right now. At the end of the day, my team did this one. At It wasn't me. It was my team. Our team came together. A couple guys went down. A couple guys spoke up, and a couple guys understood what the task at hand. We came through locked on, and we came through and kick the door in.
Well, where was the confidence coming from after last week?
Man, the confidence coming from ourselves. We got to believe in ourselves. Everybody say, "Oh, this we coming against the number one team and all this." Man, listen, at the end of the day, it's football. It's only week 2. How you the best offensive best team if it's only been 2 weeks played? We still got what? 17, 16 weeks to go. So at the end of the day, we had to just tune out the noise, understand who we were, and just go out there and play equal ball. That's what happened.
Did you have to play through some pain today?
Man, there's some beat up, but that don't stop nothing, bro. That don't stop nothing. They don't stop the dog mentality, the coaching staff. They don't stop working on the basic fundamentals. It's things we got to clean up as a whole.
All right. Welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. Shout out to the fam. Good to see y'all in the chat, man. Listen, we up in this thing. Monday edition. This was Saints Eagles final recap and takeaways from the Sunday matchup, in which the Saints lost the matchup 15-12 in the Dome. That was former Saint CJ Gardner-Johnson saying a mouthful. Chauncey and Zach Bowen, 2 former Saints, played very well. And shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles, man, because they played well enough to win the game. God knows. The Philly was trying to give that game away. The coach was trying to give it away. They turned the ball over. We just didn't have enough, you know.
He ain't lying.
And when it come down to it, the bottom line is some introspection, studying of tape, very curious play calling, really kind of helped us into the loser column. But that's the bad news. The good news is it's a ton of weeks left. We still don't have time to sit here and look at this. Well, just a final recap before we move on. Later on in the week, I'll bring my dog, Big Low. Shout out to my brother, Big Low. Bring him from the Falcons side, and here we'll preview the Saints and Falcons matchup for week number 4, and we'll put this in its proper place. All right, big ups to the fam, man. Let's take a look at this poll that we got out, fam. As you can see right now, there's a poll currently up. What was the cause of the Saints' week 3 loss to the Eagles? And the options are offense, defense, OC Kubiak, head coach Dennis Allen. Right now, over 50 people have voted. If you haven't had a chance to vote on the poll, please feel free to vote on the poll. Get your word in. Right now, a glaring 70% of the voters have it on the offense, 2% defense, 21% says is the OC, and 7% says it's Dennis Allen. So we'll leave that poll up through the summation of the broadcast. And just wanted to start the broadcast off with 2 things, with Slim Charles, and then also setting the proper mind frame. We at war now. It don't matter who did what to nobody at this point. We at war. We ain't fighting on no lies, but we gonna fight on the truth. We gonna fight for the truth and stand on the truth. And the truth is, we weren't good enough in this game. And y'all heard my recap take yesterday on this, but it just wasn't good. So we'll react. We'll play Dennis Allen's presser. He did one today. We'll go over that. I'll have it up on the, I'll speed it up. I like speeding them up because they're a lot more interesting that way. And we'll cover the broadcast. So shout out to you guys as well. Appreciate you being in the stream. Much love to the fam for spending time with me here. Shout out to Michael. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you. You're fuck too kind.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate you, man. On the super sticker, big ups to OG Jerry. Big ups to your brother Archie Dogo is in this thing. Pelicans Nola, brother Devin, Young City 9th Ward, Cartel. Big ups to you, man. Charlie Dog, big ups to you, brother. The Queen T-Mama's in this thing. Shout out to you. Good to see you, Queen. Jamaica. Some more of the Queens in the building. Shout out to all the Queens, man. You know we love the Queens in here. Brother Kennard says, when you go and look at the tape, man, it's something we're going to do tomorrow on our Patreon stream. The interception play, when you look at it was pressure in his face and he made a bad decision. It was a single high safety. You look at the tape, it was a single high safety on the play. Carr had guys blitzing in his face, and he threw it into traffic. If he would have spanned the field, he would have seen Chris Olave with no safety support. Just throw it in his direction and see if he can make a play. I promise you he would have came down with the ball. I promise you he would have got the ball. Carr just didn't see it. He was getting rushed, and he was getting rushed all damn game long. And when the line breaks down, just like some quarterbacks, they get real edgy and real scary in the pocket. Their eyes seem to drop. They don't stay disciplined and stare and look at it. But Chris Olave was in the one-on-one matchup with the cornerback, and the safety was toward the left hash mark. Chris Olave was on the opposite side of the field, running on the right side of the hash mark, like between that and the right out of bounds line. And there was none. He was one-on-one. He just didn't see it. He just, with the pressure in his face, he just made a bad decision. So, but like I said, and I've continued to say that Derek Carr is a phenomenal play action quarterback, but you have to give him the running attack, a successful running attack, so we can get into the play action. You get into the play action, he'll kill you. I've been saying that for some times, and it rang true last night. I said the way you stop, I said prior to the season started, the regular season, said the way you stop the Saints is you stop them from running the ball and force Derek Carr to beat you. You take away the play action, they don't have a go-to move. Not yet anyway. So I've been saying this, man. I've been saying it. So shout out to you. I don't think Carr is trash, but you got to know how to use Carr. That's what I've been saying. You got to know how to use these players. You got to put them in positions to win. And when you don't, this is what happens. L-Dub, shout out to you. Gundam, big ups to you, brother. Good to see you in the chat as well. All right, big ups to, what's up, Laura? Shout out to the Queen, Laura. Big ups to all of y'all, man. You know, I love the Queens. Be great, Josh. Shout out to you, my brother Jason. Big ups to you. Zoidy, where you been at, man? Shout out to Zoidy, man. Good to see you as well. High Rise, shout out to you, fam. High Rise Cartel is in this thing. Travel 504 is in this thing. Gundam says Kubiak was very limited with the unfortunate departure of Eric McCoy. And Taysom Hill too, bro. Now, usually when things break down like that, you need to really dig into your roster. He didn't do that. His play calling was very vanilla, unimaginative, and in some aspects of the time, it was stupid. Like when we had the 3rd and 1 situation, instead of just putting in the goal line or put the fullback in and put somebody in there and go get that 1 yard, why are we doing the direct snap to Elvin Kamara on the play? Why are we doing a direct snap where Carr vacates behind the center, runs out like he's a wide receiver? That didn't fool them people at all. He did that on the 3rd and 1. I want to say, wasn't it 3rd and 1? And I was like, why would you do that there? You're not running the ball effectively. You need to go and get that 1 yard. So he does a direct snap with Carr vacating out to the right side of the field, and then it's a direct snap and they stop it. What? Why isn't Jamal Williams is in there? Stuff like that. It was several things. When you really think about it, there was some really head scratching things that was going on there. The fact, you look at Dennis Allen didn't throw that red flag once, and he had 2 plays in particular he should have threw that flag for, and he kept it in his back pocket. I don't know what was going on. It just totally was just not a good judge game yesterday. The sliding Rashid Shaheed catch, that was a catch, but they took it away from him. If you'd, throw the damn flag, something might have positive happened.
He ain't lying.
Outside of that, it was other things too. But in retrospect, that's all we can do in this Monday show is kind of look at the tape and say, hey, man, what did we do wrong here? What happened here? And from my take, it was most certainly it fell on the offense, but in particular, the play calling was sad as you know what. I know McCoy means a lot, but at the same time, let's take it all in like this. McCoy, we didn't have Taysom. They had the week where the Saints wasn't going to have Taysom. They knew they wasn't going to have Taysom. A game plan should have been implemented where you have Elvin, and then you work more of Jamal Williams into the playbook, perhaps Jordan Mims, keep the end arounds with Rashid Shaheed, maybe, throw Mason Tipton in on in, or, something like that. Just, several players to replace one player and just get it going. None of that was done. None of that was done. Just lazy ass play calling, non-imaginative, didn't dig, didn't use his weapons, didn't try to compensate for the loss of players. And McCoy was lost in the first series of the game, not the last series, not middle of the game. He was lost in the first series, which means adjustment should have been made from that point moving into the game. So you lost him on the first series at the beginning of the game. I understand the first quarter, you have some wrinkles and some stuff like that, but then guys are going to get hurt. Guys are going to get lost, and you got to have a game plan. You got to still effectively be able to move the football. Saints couldn't even do that, man. So credit to Philadelphia, man. They did it. They were trying to give the Saints the game. Really, they were. They were trying to get the Saints the game. Them stupid going for it on fourth down, a dude try to kick a 60-yard field goal. They was trying to give the game to the Saints. Saints just didn't want it. We don't want it. We don't want it. And they didn't take it, So, credit to Philly. Philly said, hey, we'll take it. And they just celebrating and happy. That's good for them. Good for them. Don't be mad at Philadelphia. Don't be mad at Philadelphia because Philadelphia won it. I give credit to Philadelphia. Philadelphia did more than enough to win the game 15-12. And we simply did not, which means we have to go back to the drawing board and fix whatever needs to be fixed. Compensate for whatever losses that we have, whether it be Taysom, who's supposed to be in the Atlanta game. If McCoy, who's dealing with a groin, can't play, we got to go around that. We got time. We got to get guys ready. We got to get the right guys in there, and we got to make plays. So it is what it is. King Chosen, with big ups to your head trauma, says Q and fam, the offense lacked execution. The Eagles forced Kubiak to make Derek Carr beat them, and hell broke loose. I told y'all, fam, I said that. I've been saying that, y'all. I hate to say I'm redundant and toot my horn, but I am some stuff I say over and over again. And that's one of the things I say over and over again because it ain't hard to tell. I told the family members, I say, Carr is very easy to break down. He's not complicated. I told you the man is a gunslinger. That's number one. He's a gunslinger. He has a strong arm and he loves to try to fit the ball in the tight windows, but that works when he's flowing and he's confident. But when he doesn't have access to the rushing attack and you put it all on his shoulders, chances are he's not going to respond well. And the Saints have not had enough time in this new system to develop a fallback option if that were to happen. So it is imperative, no matter what you do, you have to figure a way to run the ball, even if you use wide receivers on end arounds. You got to do whatever you can. If you can't run up the middle, then run outside. And mix it up until the defense adjusts so you can get inside. It's a constant game of chess going back and forth, and then really the thing is the Saints couldn't stretch the defense out. They played right up front, and that's because the Saints didn't get the big plays. Rashid Shaheed had one he could have got downfield. It didn't materialize. So the Saints couldn't stretch out Philly's defense to give room from up under Elvin Kamara. One of those catches would have been made. It would have stretched the defense out. Then you would have seen the running game get real funky. See what I mean? So those things they all work together. But there is super imperative. The Saints cannot afford not to run the game. And I guarantee you Atlanta's going to come into this game with the same mentality. They're going to come into it with the same philosophy. But I am not shaken by this at all. It's just one of them games. It's a third week loss, first loss of the season. I said losses were coming. The team looked really good. It's just a high fall from where you were to where you are now. Like you go from what you were doing in week 2 to a 12-point outing and a loss in your home building. And it's shocking because you say, damn, we couldn't put up no more points than that. The answer is no, we couldn't. That's just what it is, right? Very simple. All right. So it is what it is, man. Shout out to the rest of the fam, man. Yeah. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Travis, he was talking, but you got to eat that, right? We got to eat that. Like what Chauncey was talking a lot of smack, but he earned it. And it's sour grapes. What's up, Kathleen? Big ups to Kathleen. It's sour grapes. It is. Y'all know it's sour grapes. He even said it there. He's like, man, they got rid of me. I ain't get rid of them. They got rid of me. Why say that there? You got the victory. You won. You didn't have to say what you said about Derek Carr, that, they ain't no contenders. They're not contenders. They're pretenders. They got Derek Carr. Remember that. He didn't say how he didn't need to go all that, but that was sour grapes from CJ Gardner-Johnson. It was sour grapes. That's all it was. And he got the victory, credit to him. But, at the same time, we really didn't want the game. That's what I seen. It just wasn't hitting. It wasn't hitting for nothing. What's up, L? Shout out. I learned Sunday that this O-line ain't without McCoy. That's really interesting, man. Because I remember when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost their center, that big dirty center they had, that Cam Jordan called the trash can, or whatever he called, a trash compactor or something like that. He referred to him as a trash can. I forgot the man's name. But Tampa Bay he was a good center for him. He was a dirty one, but he was a good center. And guess what? They were able to still have success when that guy got hurt. It's the same thing. Anybody could be lost. Quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, offensive linemen, centers, all could be lost. You have to have a plan. Big Smokey, what's up? Trey, the big bro, says, I think Kubiak doesn't have the history with the team to make adjustments in real time. He went conservative when he knew Hill was out and went scared when McCoy was out. You can't play. This ain't a game for the scared, bro. I get what you're saying, Trey. But this ain't a game for scared people. If you scared, go sit on the sideline and watch the game like everybody else, so you don't have to make the decisions. That's what it's about. That's why your bones are earned. You got to have a plan, man. That's how it is. You got to have a plan for the plan for the plan for the plan. That's the thing. You got to have a plan. And the fact that he did what he did, and he knew he was going to be lacking Taysom Hill, and didn't get anybody else involved except for Elvin. And the running attack was catastrophic. I was saying it at halftime of the game. Where's the diversity in the running attack? You're just using Elvin Kamara. Jamal Williams got one carry. Where's these other guys at? That's what I was saying. It was just ridiculous. L-Dub says they all played a part in the loss, but the majority of the blame goes to the offensive coordinator. It didn't look like they made any adjustments like Philly did. Brian says, I hope the Eagles make it to the playoffs so we can get our get back. It doesn't feel like that to me, man. It was a 15-12 game. I just give it to him, man. B-Rock, shout out to you. Good to see you. Big ups to everybody, man. Appreciate y'all being in the stream. L-Dub says, do you think Kendra Miller was healthy? Would he have made a difference? It depends, bro, because I don't know if Clint Kubiak would have even played him. If he was healthy, it probably wouldn't have made much of a difference anyway, because he wasn't going to play him. He didn't play Jamal. He didn't play anybody. He didn't play anybody except for Elvin. And credit to Elvin for getting all those yards for the first 3 weeks. Elvin Kamara is less than 400 yards, I want to say, from catching Ingram. He moved into second place on the all-time rushing list. So he is he's like less than 400 or 500 yards from catching. I think it's like 460 something. Y'all correct me in the chat. It's like 467 from becoming the franchise's all-time rusher. So credit to Elvin Kamara and a loss. I know he wouldn't celebrate that, but that's still a remarkable feat. He passed Deuce McAllister on the rushing list. That's pretty big to me. All right, Marley Moss says, Q, I cannot take losing to the Falcons. I don't know how I'm going to handle it with Big Loa and Falcon fans trash talking. Well, brother, thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Thank you. You're fuck too kind.
You know what? It's about hopefully you take it better than I did when we lost that first game to them last year, and I had to put that Falcon shirt on. So I hope that was the worst. But for family members that want to know, am I betting low this time? Hell no, I'm not betting low. I'm not betting low. War says, what's up, Revolt? Big ups to you, brother. Good to see you in the chat. All right, Willie, what's up? Willie says, you're quite right about Carr's decision, Q. Indeed, bro. The tape never fails, bro. The tape shows all the time is never wrong. What's up, brother Slim? GM Kev in the building. Big ups to you. It's the truth. It's the truth, the unbridled truth, man. We have to do better. All right. Yeah, you can't be scared, man. If you don't be scared, get your job back, bro. Get your money back and go back to San Fran and sit up on him as a passing game coordinator. What's up, Nolans? Shout out to you, brother. Yeah, we got to do what we got to do, bro. We locked in, and it's no time for none of this other stuff. We look at the film, we get better, and we move forward. We weren't blown out in the game. We lost 15-12 because we didn't come to play offensively speaking. It's as simple as that. That's what I was saying about the Saints and some of these prior losses last year. We didn't have a lot of the blowout games. And if the game did get out of hand, it's because the Saints failed to do something, like they had the game in hand and then they just couldn't close the deal. That's how that was some of the frustrating things about many of the games over the last 3 years. We'll be in position to win the game, but for whatever reason, we don't close the game and seal the victory. We don't go to the next level and take full possession of the game for a win. And like I said, in blowout wins, like we've had 2 blowout wins, we look good in the blowout wins, but how do we look in the games when there's some adversity, some adjustments that need to be made? And that, my friends, family, will show you how good your team is down the stretch, because it's all about the adversity. If you can't adjust to adversity and win and come out with success, you're going to have some problems. Big J says, Alante said, we good. It's a good reason the Eagles got rid of him after 1 year. Then Detroit moved on after 1 season. The only reason they brought him back was because Bayer didn't work and he was best available. Indeed. All right. Yeah, that might be the truth, brother, but he's still, and that's what Alante Taylor said. Yeah. All right. Lewis says it was suspect how Clinton handled the injury. I mean, he didn't really look the same at all. Yeah, it was, I don't know what was going on with him, bad, very suspect. Okay, L-Dub says it was 386. Okay, that's less than 400 yards, 386 yards to becoming the all-time franchise leader. I think that's splendid for Alvin Kamara. All right, let's keep it moving, fam, before we go. I got one article, and then we'll go into the Dennis Allen reaction thing. I won't hold y'all very long tonight on Monday stream. I got another show. I got to do Pelican postgame report later on tonight. 7 takeaways from the Saints Week 3 matchup with the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's kind of look at this, fam, and go into some of the takes that John Sigler, shout out to him, broke down. Saints took their first loss of the season in Week 3, losing to the Eagles by the score 15-12 after a late interception by Derek Carr sealed the game after the Eagles drove right through the defense on a play where the secondary had 2 defensive backs run into each other. Then Will Harris misdiagnosed the route. A tough loss for the Saints that was winnable throughout the entire matchup, but poor individual performance, especially on offense, killed the momentum whenever a good play happened. Following this matchup at Caesar Superdome, here are 7 takeaways for the Saints. Number 1, Derek Carr may not be completely redeemed just yet. And thank you, Leon. Appreciate you, bro, for being a member for the last 46 months.
Thank you. Get fucked too kind.
Yeah, appreciate that, bro. All right. Yeah, I'm with you, Jay Black. I'll be there, bro. The truth is, I don't want to throw DC under the crossfire, but DC was supposed to operate the stream because I was on for 5 or 6 hours. I want to say 5.5 hours, almost 6 hours on Sunday. So DC was supposed to do it, and he had a conflict issue. It was supposed to be him and Lex doing it, but something happened with his scheduling. He couldn't do it, and that's why it had to be rescheduled. So, so I said, yeah, well, that's fine. We'll just bounce back. So yeah, we'll be there tonight, Jay Black. Shout out to you, brother. Appreciate you being here. And thank you, Leon. Appreciate you, man, for being a member for the 46 months, man. Anyway, Derek Carr may not be completely redeemed just yet. Now, listen, I also said, fam, listen, 2 games. We said three through two games, I think it was, even though there were outstanding games where the Saints just manhandled the first 2 teams. I often said, man, listen, it's a long season. Now, the Saints did really well, but you have to kind of look at it from the perspective of not just the games. I'm looking at it from a collage of years, and it's been 3 years where the Saints will get wins in these years, and then it's not enough wins to compete for the playoffs, which is what you're doing it for. So often, I've been here before. You have been here before. Some of our young people might not have been here before, but as an experienced, person like yourself and me, I've seen a lot of football, especially black and gold football. And what it's taught me over the many years is to be patient and to look at the large body of work to see what's going on, because there are ebbs and flows in the NFL. You want to see how the team deal with adversity. You want to see if some of the guys that were saying they were working, if it's being represented in their physical action, because the guys could say a lot of stuff. We heard a lot of stuff last year that didn't translate to success, and it becomes quite annoying if you are saying that you're having these Hall of Fame, and I coined it as Hall of Fame practices, because you will hear them come out of practice and say all these fantastic things, and then it never translated in the game consistently enough to win games, to get enough games to get to where you belong, which is the playoffs and opportunity to compete for a championship. That's what I'm looking at. So I kind of try to let the family members know, even though the first 2 weeks were fantastic, I want y'all to just kind of pump on the brakes a little bit. Let's see how the rest of this irons out. Because we've seen a lot of football. Don't get too hesitant. Oh, we're they ain't about jumping on no bandwagon, because you already there. You've been there. It ain't about riding stupidly. That's not where I'm rocking at. I'm not, man. No, man. That's like some of the people that are hardcore supporters of the team for many years just got fed up with the F stuff, man. It just, a lot of people got tied up with it. And just got, fed up with it to the point where they was like, man, enough is enough, because the people wasn't listening. So they did what they felt they had to do to make an impact, to make a change. And it worked. Sometimes you got to stand up, man. If you want change, riding along with it ain't going to bring no change, bro. Been saying this. If the civil rights people would have just read, or anybody that did any movement that was worth anything would have just rolled along with what was going on, no change would have happened. They're not obviously not students of history. They don't understand how things really work. Things change when people stand up and says enough is enough. We played around with you. We let you done have it for all this time. You done walked on us long enough. You disrespected our intelligence. Enough is enough. We standing on this. And you got some people that don't know what you're doing. They'll say, well, I ain't doing, I'm going to keep doing this. So when the change happened, they try to take credit for it, but understand and know that it's never, change don't come because the people are riding along with what's been happening. You're not invested in the change. You can't claim it. That's why the brother came up here. The people was coming in here and I had to shut the man down and say, hey, bro, you can't claim Carr's success that he was having through 2 weeks because you was riding along with him. You was saying ain't nothing wrong with him. Like, no, I'm like, dude, no, you have, the pressure was put on by the support base that says, nah, bro, what you talking about? Nothing wrong with him. He's staring down receivers on film. What you talking about? That's a violation. He's staring down one side. He's not going through his progressions. He's staying too long in the pocket. All this, so it was just Derek Carr hate. Okay. But see, that's when people that's not thinking, they're not used. These fanboys, man. That's why I was saying I don't have time to compete or try to talk to people that got a fanboy mentality, man. Because you can't have an intellectual dialogue with somebody like that because they're stuck in this mentality where you'll give them facts, you'll show them tape, and they're still in this. You very few of them you can change their mind because that is their logic. And I don't have time for that. I'll let somebody else deal with that, but I don't have time for that, and I ain't dealing with that. That's what I'll be saying what I said. So I showed the man the tape of Derek Carr saying, last year wasn't good enough. I had to do more. I did this, I did that, I do that. I said, you seen that? So it was and I drew the line of demarcation. I drew a line right down the center and said, see what he did last year? That was last year, and this year. It's a change from his place of what he was doing because of the work he was doing, and he was putting more into it. You can't say he's the same. No, he's not the same. He's not the same. Now, this game here, that played to his poor side of things. And when you put that, and I told y'all that you can't put the game in his hands. He's a play action quarterback. Other people going to say he ain't. Oh, here, he could do all of it, man. The man ain't he a play action quarterback at the stage of his career, man. At this stage, he's a good play action quarterback. We need to keep him in the play action. So he said he might not be completely redeemed yet. I don't want Carr to take the blame for everything, even though that interception was a bad look. But you can't do that, man. Carr had a really tough performance against the Eagles, going 14-25 for $142, 1 touchdown and a pick. His interception came on absolutely brutal throw when he threw into double coverage. When Rashid Shaheed was not even facing the ball yet, sealing the loss for the team. Even worse, the pass was completely unnecessary as it was 2nd and 5 and with enough time left to run dink and dunk plays to get down the field. He also had 2 other throws to Shaheed that were underthrown to the point where he did not catch either, and both could have been large gains. One of them was to drop by Rashid Shaheed. Another one was thrown in front of him. These are good tech. And on the same play that John's talking about here, the reality is that that interception throw, like I just said, if you look at the film, he was throwing the ball down into, there was a single high safety there. Yeah, I'm gonna show y'all on the most of y'all seen it, but we're gonna cover that play tomorrow on Patreon. I'm gonna show y'all there was a single high safety to the left hash mark, and that's where the traffic was. Those guys would combine there. They had Rashid covered up, but I was opposite of on the right side of the field. It was Chris Olave in one-on-one coverage with no safety support. Put that damn thing up there. Let him go get it. I don't know who the cornerback was that was guarding Chris Olave, by the way, but it couldn't be a Slade because Slade was hurt. So whoever they had over there was a backup guy, whoever they had, because they were looking to stop Rashid Shaheed, and he just made a bad choice by throwing into coverage because he had guys running up in his face too. It wasn't like he had a clear time, and guys like on this picture right here, you see guy running up in his face. So I mean, this was pretty much what he dealt with for most of the game, guys in his face, because the line was shitty. But anyway, that doesn't cover up the fact that he had a poor read. You got to see the field and deliver the throw. You do that, the Saints would have more than likely, Chris Olave caught the ball, had a big gain, it could have took it all away. You never know. All right. So anyway, number 2, Eric McCoy is more critical to the offense than we could ever have anticipated. That was the case. You probably wouldn't have thought that, right? You say, okay, he's an offensive lineman. The Saints have a plan. If Eric McCoy gets hurt, then we can keep this thing moving, because you got a plan for everybody. If this guy goes down, this guy go down. Obviously, the Saints didn't have much of a plan. They moved your boy over there to center. I'm like, why is he moving to the center? Where's McCoy? I mean, where's Ruiz there? A guy that was drafted to play center will stay at guard. I was like, wow. Lucas Patrick just got here. He just got here. But this other guy was drafted as center, been here. Yeah, I thought that the backup plan was have a backup center, or if you don't have a backup center, because the Saints didn't have a backup center, they have guys that can play either guard or tackle. The idea is to move Lucas Patrick there. I was like, man, so if the Saints don't have an actual backup center on their roster, right, then it must be, I assumed that. That's why I said it during the game. I don't see a backup center. The Saints have Ali Udo, who plays tackle and guard. They have Nick Saldiveri, who plays mostly guard. And then they had, I think, Landon Young, who plays guard and tackle. So these guys are not center guys. So I was thinking, okay, if that's the case, they must be a plan where if something happens to McCoy, that you just slide Cesar Ruiz to the center position and keep it pushing. That's what I thought. I was wrong. They made Lucas Patrick the guy and kept Ruiz at the guard position, and he got tore up in the game too. But anyway, another story. But yeah, he's right. Eric McCoy is more critical to the offense than we could have ever anticipated, because we wouldn't have anticipated the Saints doing that. I most certainly didn't. And it affected the line greatly. Early injury to McCoy left the game in limbo throughout the whole game, struggling on offense, having really tough time getting the defensive line block, a switch for Lucas Patrick to center, and Ali Udo being placed into the lineup all but killed the Saints offense immediately, as they weren't able to block up the middle for both rushes and passes. Boy, what a drop. What a drop in talent. My goodness. What a drop in talent. It was so evident when they moved Ali Udo in the game. All I could see him doing is pulling right and running into his guard. I was like, what the hell is that guy doing? Then I seen another play when a guy pushed him over. And I was like, wow. And then all game long, if you watch the tape, he was just slow to the party most of these plays, or he was struggling mightily. It was a huge drop off, like in talent. The moment you seen McCoy go down, it was a huge drop off. So I was like, most certainly the Saints are probably going to try to do more end around plays with Rashid Shaheed to kind of free things open. Clint Kubiak said, nope, we sticking with Elvin. You ain't gonna throw him in there. What about Jordan Mims? Jordan Mims is a speed component. He's active. Why don't you use him? Oh, shit. All right. Anyway, Number 3, the Saints got a steal in Carl Granderson extension. Indeed, Carl Granderson was all over the place. You know, if the Saints would have won the game, I think Carl Granderson should have been given the game ball. He was awesome in the game. Carl Granderson from the play, for first play, he was in these guys' face. They couldn't block Carl. Had an outstanding start to the season. His play stripping the ball from Jalen Hurts and behind was a thing of beauty. Being able to not only catch up to him, but getting a hand on the ball and knocking it out was really impressive. And the sole reason the Saints had a 3-0 lead for so long was at minimum a field goal. Hopefully he can keep up his impressive pace and turn it into a great season. I think so. I think so. I've said Carl Granderson is going to have, he's going to have over 10 sacks this year, I think. And that was the thing that hurt him. He said that earlier this year in the offseason that he ran out of juice toward the back of the year last year. And that's why, you know, he came into this year with the focus to kind of be stronger and stuff like that. So I think Carl Granderson is on the plus side of this. Plus, you got Chase Young. He was in there doing some stuff. It just Carl shined more than Chase. But, hey, Chase's time coming. Chris Olave needs to be targeted more often. Chris Olave has not been getting a ton of utilization throughout the early few weeks of the season. And in this matchup, he got a little more of a chance to shine. He ended the day with 6 catches for 86 yards and a go-ahead touchdown, which unfortunately was all but erased with the Eagles' next drive being a quick score. Regardless, he had a phenomenal day, and it feels like he got targeted more often. This would be more of a common occurrence, and the offense may have had some momentum. Very true. Chris Olave was awesome. We would have loved to see Carr throw that ball to him on that play, that last interception play, because he was one-on-one. But, you know, we'll learn. The offense can be stopped. That's bullet point 5. Eagles defense has been criticized for their inability to stop the run. That wasn't a problem on Sunday. Does it happen like this if McCoy doesn't get hurt? Maybe. That's a good question. I don't think it does. If McCoy was healthy, the Saints would, I don't know. Then again, would they? I still say they would be able to run the ball 89 yards. You got McCoy in there. I think McCoy gets the Saints $150 because the line wouldn't have put Ali Udo out there. You know, we would have been solid. Running him out there, boy, he was awful. But yeah, we could have got $150 and won this game if Eric McCoy was playing. No doubt about it in my mind. The Eagles have a monster duo on the inside. The run game didn't work, and the passing attack never got activated. Indeed. That go to bat down right there by the guy on Rashid Shaheed. That was an end zone throw. I want to say it was close to the end zone, wasn't it? Yeah. All right, then number 6, Philadelphia Eagles replaced their lineman better. Eric McCoy left the game, and the Saints' offensive line crumbled. The Eagles lost Lane Johnson and Mekhi Becton, but didn't lose a step. That's a great point, because I was thinking about that at the end of the show. It's like, man, Saints lost McCoy. They lost Ruiz for a little bit, but he came back. The Eagles lost their best offensive lineman, Lane Johnson and Mekhi Becton, and still piled over the Saints for $147, 2 rushing touchdowns, plus Saquon had the 2-point conversion to push it 15-2. So, indeed, the Eagles played their best football when their players went out of the game. They began to run the ball better. Meanwhile, the Saints couldn't run block or pass block consistently. This should be an eye-opening thing. I wanted to mar if the Saints are bringing in offensive linemen here for tryouts. Would that be a thing? I would definitely be doing it if I was Dennis Allen. I'll be bringing in a couple of veteran offensive linemen, in particular a center. He might not play right away based on what happens to Eric McCoy. But in the end, you know, I would be kind of doing tryouts to see if I can bring some guys in here and see what they're looking like. Because even though Ali Udo had one, you know, it was a rough game for him, but he's supposed to be the swing lineman. He's supposed to be James Hurst. Ali Udo is supposed to be the 5th lineman, I think. That's one of the things that they talk about with him. He's supposed to be the 6th lineman. Saints run defense fails the test. Barkley, 65-yard run off of that was a draw play. That man, and they were hitting the Saints with the draw starting in the second half. Well, they were doing a little bit in the second quarter. But when the second half came on, they were hitting the Saints with it more and more because Barkley gets strong. Most power runners get stronger late on in the game because the defense has been out there. They started to get a little tired. They don't want to tackle them guys. And Barkley, he really shifted the game. And the reason why he got freed up is because the offensive linemen, the Saints defense up front did not. They got it was a situation where I forgot which number it was, but one of the offensive linemen for the Eagles was able to get through the Saints 4 and get to the second level and block out Demario Davis. That's why Demario wasn't in the play. The offensive linemen were able to get to the second level and lay hands on those guys and knock them out of there, because if Demario's free, he is there to at least trip him up or do something. He don't have a free run. Demario was taken out of the play and then was in pursuit mode he turned around and he was already 10 yards up the field beyond Demario, and Demario ain't going to catch him. That it was a game where they started to win in the trenches late, and and that's the longest short of it. 65-yard touchdown with the highlighter, but the struggles were isolated to the moment the Eagles gashed the interior of the Saints defensive line with 172 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. So they did a really phenomenal job beating on the Saints. So what could be learned here as we get ready to play Dennis Allen here, and we talk about all of the stuff that happened with the Saints yesterday? The main talking point moving forward is what do we need to learn here so we can be a better unit, right? We knew we're going to eventually lose a game. We're not going to show up. And I told Bird Game that too. I was like, man, listen. He said, man, Q, you like saying we don't have a chance. We might as not. And I'm like, no, I'm not saying that, because I knew that there are games where even though you might have the talent to be able to run over a team, but sometimes the team doesn't show up for whatever reason. Like they get there, somebody, the whole complexity of the game changed when McCoy went down. Like John Sigler says, they lost Lane Johnson and Mekhi Becton and still was able to beat on the Saints running attack. So what's the goal here? The goal is, as an offense, as a team, like defensively speaking, they did give up a crap ton of rushing yards still, which is not good. I don't want to see my team give up 100 and whatever it was yards running the ball, getting ran on. But in the end, I look at it and say, okay, they gave that up. They let that touchdown happen, but it still was only 15 points. At the end of the day, I have to think that my offense should be still good enough to put up 20 points, 17 points, whatever the case may have been, to win the game. Saints defense, despite them getting gashed, they only allowed a Jalen Hurts offense to score 15, which in most cases should be enough for you to beat an Eagles squad, especially if you're the Saints and you were scoring 40 points, averaging 40 plus points over the last 2 weeks. At some point, you would think that you might not get 40 or even 30, but can you score 17? 17, you win. You couldn't get 17. We couldn't get that. The answer is no. So at some point, we have to look at how we need to do, and Clint Kubiak need to do more than just over rely and get real lazy and play calling stupid in some of these calls that were made. Dennis Allen could have changed. It was a few things out there. Challenging when you're supposed to challenge. What was up with that? CJ Gardner-Johnson slid. That was a catch, no challenge. There was the other play that happened, no challenge. The defense, despite them giving up the $140 and the touchdown, the defense forced multiple turnovers that the offense didn't capitalize off. When I seen that, I said, that's not good. That's not a good sign, because the football gods are giving you an opportunity and you too stupid to take it. So at the end of the day, you deserve to lose because you didn't do the smart plays. You didn't make the right moves, the right decisions. And in the end, you deserve to, because Philly was trying to give you the game. They really were. That head coach over there was calling those stupid plays. He kicked a 60-yard field goal. Dennis Allen down on his 45 punting. Could somebody explain to me why we punted twice inside of their territory? We was right around the 45 or the 40-yard line. Was that not a good enough chance to take a shot with the field goal? Why were we punting there? Because we were relying on the defense to force to get another turnover. Defense playing so well, why take a gamble there? Well, if the defense was playing so well, take the risk, take the 3-pointers. See if you can get Blake Group A to kick the ball out from there. Give Blake the opportunity to get the shot. And if he misses, then you still got the defense that's on fire that can slow him down, because the defense was on fire at that time, right? All that plays a part. Don't forget about that. The 2 punts inside of their territory from the 45 or the 42, wherever it was. Remember that? So, I mean, in the end, you look at it like, man, that wasn't a well thought out game. The challenges, not just, sinking in and do it. And that's all you can do is learn from it, be a little bit more aggressive and more intelligent going forward. Don't do the stupid shit where you didn't have much of a running tack and you did the play where you run the car out like he's a wide receiver and do a direct snap. That Alvin Kamara didn't fool anybody. Philadelphia defense see him do it and they just look right at Alvin like, we know what you about to do. Please don't do that no more. Do that when you rolling, when you got them on the tizzy, not when they dialed in like that. That's a bad play. That was a stupid play, and it cost them. So we have to just get smarter and move forward. That's all, fam. We still got a lot of football. I'm very much encouraged because we got a lot of talent. I like how the team took the loss because they knew they had the game in hand, and the loss wasn't because that other team was that much better than them. It's just they wanted it more, and the Saints surrendered the game to them with bad play. That's what it comes down to. They didn't blow you out. They didn't do anything demoralizing. And so far as with Chauncey Chalk and shit, like they blew you out, which they really didn't. You gave them the game on a silver platter because you didn't execute like you were supposed to. That happens. So anyway, let's go to Dennis Allen, man, right quick. Let's see what he has to say, man, about the game. Let's do a live react to him. What he was saying about the game, because he look a little humdrum. He looks like, this is the possum puss. After the loss, he's a little down. You don't need to be this far down in the dumps, bro. Don't be this founded. But here's Mo to talk to him.
Now go on. You take care of the cake. You possum puss, get that punch out there. You'll get one from me. Go on.
After going back and watching the tape, feel pretty much the same as I did last night. Encouraged by some things that I do think we were able to do well. Offensively, we really didn't move the ball like we have in the past, but there's still some things that were, our third down offense was good. When we had to go down and score to take the lead at the end of the game, we were able to go down and get points on the board. So, that was a positive. Defensively, we did a lot of good things. We took the ball away. We had a couple of fourth down stops. But the explosive plays and just not being able to finish the game when we had a chance to finish the game, that was disappointing. And I'd say same thing in the kicking game. I mean, we blocked the kick, set us up in good field position. So there was a lot of good things on that tape, and yet there was too many negatives on the tape that kept us from winning the game.
How do you feel you matched up or the offense was challenged by the Eagles front?
Yeah, no, I think their front played exceptionally well. I think it was a challenge for us all afternoon. I think they're really good, in particular, inside at the, defensive tackle position. And I think that was an area that I think they won that battle inside.
Was there anything you saw specifically, I guess, on those two defensive explosives?
Well, the run play to Saquon, we just didn't fit that quite up right. We kind of got out of a gap. We initially fit it up right. They did a good job of blocking it. They comboed up to us. And then once he kind of got out in the open, he's so fast and explosive, we weren't able to kind of run him down. And then the other one, look, we just, got to have a little bit better awareness and kind of know how they're trying to attack us. And they got us in man coverage and ran crossing routes, and we ran into each other, and we got to do a better job of having some awareness in that situation.
On that run play, not that we don't need for an individual name, but on a run play, is there supposed to be somebody that kind of fills that gap behind where Warner has that? Yeah. We had a little stunt working there, and we just kind of got out of our gap a little bit, and that's the thing when you play a guy like Saquon Barkley, you get just out of a gap a little bit, and he's got the explosiveness to take it the distance. So, that's what happened. Can you share anything there?
I don't really have a lot of updates on injuries right now. It's a groin injury. I think we're going through the evaluation process, see where he's at. But we'll probably have more information for you later.
You had a number of sort of fourth down decisions to make yesterday. In general, what's your process? Do you try to have decisions made before every drive, and then are you talking about third downs or someone like?
Yeah, look, I mean it's there's constant communication going on as to what we're thinking. 3 downs, 4 downs. Would you kick it here in this situation? Would you punt it here in this situation? Like that communication takes place throughout the drive. I don't think we ever start a drive and say, hey, we're going for it on fourth down, regardless of what the fourth down is, But I think, in general, we have a kind of a philosophy and a thought process going into each and every game. Sometimes it might be a little bit more aggressive. Sometimes it might be a little bit more conservative. I go back and there was really three fourth down, kind of decisions that you look at in the game, and you'd say, okay, it's 4th and 8 on the 40-yard line. Do you attempt a 58-yard field goal and go up 6-0 because it was 3-0 at the time? It's 4th and 8. I don't know that that's the down and distance that we're looking for to potentially go for it on that down and distance. And so based on the way the game was going, we tried to pin them down there deep and see if we couldn't play the field position game. And I think it kind of played out for us, and that we got pretty decent field position. We weren't able to take advantage of it, but we got pretty decent field position. The 4th and 4 at the 42, that's a little bit more. I certainly don't think you're trying to kick a 60-yard field goal. I mean, that was, what Philly did, and it worked out to our advantage. Now, obviously, if you make that field goal, you think differently, but 60-yard field goals are not really commonplace. I know they happen, and it's good when they do, but when they don't work out, you give your opponent pretty good field position. So I think the decision there was kind of potential go for it, or punt it. And, we chose to punt it there. And, I don't think that one came back to bite us either. And then the 4th and 1, that was a no-brainer in my opinion. We're going for that. And, I got confidence that, our guys can go and get it. And we just didn't execute as well as we needed to on that play.
When I ask about process, the first one is kind of one where if you kind of have the idea already that it's 3rd and 8 on the 40 that you're going to punt if you don't get it, does that alter what play calling?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Certainly, if when you're thinking about potentially 4 downs, you might alter the play call a little bit. Yeah.
And some of the players were accused of playing dirty on Sunday, like being turned on the sitting on front line. I think some of the Eagles players took issue with Boyd's hit. What was your reaction to hearing that? If you did hear it, they had to defend themselves on social media. I felt like they had to.
Yeah, I'd say this. I'd say our guys play extremely hard, and we're gonna compete, until the down is over. I don't think we play dirty. I don't think we ever have played dirty. It's not the way we coach it, not the way we teach it. But we do play hard, And look, nobody wants to see anybody get hurt. Nobody's trying to hurt anybody. And unfortunately, that's part of, the business that we're in. But no, we don't play dirty. We don't coach dirty. But we do play hard and we do play physical.
What was the specific message to Trevor Benning after he just said we needed to be smarter on those plays?
That exact message. We can't have that. We can't. I mean, look, you got to have some awareness of where you're at on the field, and that could have been a really costly penalty. I love the aggressiveness, but at the same time, we can't hurt our team.
What have you made of Brian as he started as pass rushers?
Yeah, I think he's doing some good things in the pass rush, and I think there's still some room for improvement there. I think he's done some good things defensively, both in the run game and in the passing game, and I think he can still get better. So I think that's where our focus is really focused on how can we continue to improve and build on the way we've been able to start in that regard.
I know it's the next man up, but how concerned is it that before goes down and front four
Yeah, look, I mean, nobody wants to see a Pro Bowl center go down, and obviously he's one of our better players on our offensive line. So yeah, that's a challenge. And yet everybody in the NFL has to deal with those challenges, and we expect our guys to be able to go in there and perform. I thought Lucas Patrick did a nice job going in and filling in Eric's spot. So yeah, I mean, it was a challenge for us, but that wasn't the difference in the game.
Has it all been super successful? You got to think about that a little bit. At some point, do you see Anthony Allen, Big Day, and Sheed, and a lot of the plays offensively. So they've gotten the vast majority of the.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think we got to get our playmakers the ball, and I think we got to try to, involve all of our playmakers. I mean, quite honestly, I don't care who it is making plays, as long as we're making them, as long as we're moving the ball, as long as we're scoring points. I mean, that's the objective here. So, yeah, I mean, I certainly would love for more guys to be involved, and yet, the object's to move the ball and score points.
When you reviewed the game, were there any things in hindsight you would have challenged, or did you think those calls ended up helping that cheese catch with one and all that people were talking about?
Yeah. Well, Alvin Spot's one you can't challenge, so even if I wanted to challenge it, I couldn't challenge that automatically gets reviewed upstairs and in New York in terms of a, fourth down because it's a turnover on down. So it was obviously one we were looking at pretty closely. And then, yeah, I mean, I think we looked at the Shaheed play, and here's the thing: like, you have to have clear and obvious evidence on the tape, or on the video there. And I don't know that we felt like it was clear and obvious possession, down by contact, play over, So we didn't challenge.
Oh, and then the Devontae Smith fumble after Boyd's hit.
That was they ruled forward progress. Once they ruled forward progress to stop, then you can't challenge. So, yeah, all of those were ones that we were paying attention to and looking at. And that was the question I asked the official was, because it was a fumble and clear and obvious recovery. So my question was, did you rule forward progress? And they said they ruled forward progress. So at that point, it's over.
And Jordan only played 20 snaps. Was it just based on the match? He also played like also on Andrew.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I mean, I think you're probably going to see a little bit more of, Chase and Carl, and look, Cam's still a vital part of what we do. But I think we'll see a little bit more of those other guys.
Is that just because Chase and Carl have been more effective, or is it
No, it boils down to, effectiveness. And I think those two guys have been playing at a pretty high level. And it's no disrespect or anything negative towards Cam. It's just, that's kind of how this game goes at some point in time, but he's still an extremely important part of what we do.
Yeah, and that's something to be said because I'm not mad about the fact that Cam Jordan is they were doing that. I thought they should have started the season like that. I thought that was the reason for it in the get-go, that it should have been the majority of these reps should have went to Chase and Carl Granderson. These guys are young guys that can move. They can also, and they're really balanced. Not only can they rush the passer and cause problems, but they also play the run extremely well. They're very good young defensive ends with something to prove. I was very excited about the tandem that they could be, and Cam should have been in the reserve capacity. Now, you see Cam's real effectiveness when they kick them inside. That's where he can really be a pivotal part of the Saints attack. Like, you kick them inside, that's what my thought process was. Like, can you have these other guys, let them, operate, as reserves, but kick Cam inside, let him play inside. And we seen plays where Cam was inside, he was putting that work on, so I'm not really surprised by that, to be honest with you. Thank you, Big Belly. Says DA letting it be known, move the ball, get people involved, and score points. Keys to success. I can dig it. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you. You're fuck too kind.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man. And you got a point, bro. He did say that. And Dennis Allen is not, he's saying what he's saying, but it's in loss. This is the first time we've seen him lost, this season in the regular season. That's also needs to be said, right? And how he handles the loss, the things he says in the loss, about what they need to do. We don't care who it is. They got to, such and such. And that's true. Like this year, I mean, listen, fam, I know the Saints got to play. I know shout out to John Hendricks. He says that he believes that if the Saints, even if the Saints did not make the playoffs this year, that they'll bring Dennis Allen back. That's the feeling. And that man's talking straight from the building. So shout out to John, man. But listen, bro. And the Who Dat Nation knows that it ain't about what they say, it's about what we say. I'm just going to keep it a whole funky bean with you on that, right? The reality is, if the Saints family members get pissed off, they're going to change the head coach. Why? Because it's all about the mighty dollar. And if there's a strong enough movement of people turning their season tickets in, they'll do whatever they want to appease you. That's what it is. What we got right now, and I've been saying that about this team, is we've been feeding these people to the point where they've lost base. They've become detached from reality to think that losing is acceptable and that you can pass us gobbledygook and we can't tell the difference. And for those people that stand up and say, no, we got standards, you're not going to play with me like that. You're not a real whatever this, that, and the third, which that's just stupid, unintelligent jargon, garbage. In the end, money drives this matrix. They don't have printing machines in the Saints building where they're paying these players. They're getting the money from you to give to them, so at a profit. They make billions, multi-billions, and then peel off millions to the players. Hundreds of thousands to the coaches, and whatever salaries that they pay the 3, 4, 5, or 600 people that work for the Saints in those buildings. So at the end of the day, the reality is, if the Who Dat Nation gets upset and start pulling them tickets back, they're threatened by that, man. You think one guy gonna stop that? They're gonna stand with one guy on that? I'm telling you. And it's that time, and I'm happy to be a part of that time for the change, man. We'd have let these people run this long enough they done ran it in the ground. It's time to show them that, hey, man, we're not just a bunch of fanatics around here that just listen to whatever you say and whatever you say we do. No, we're not going to do that no more. We're going to run this. We're going to tell you what to do. And if you have success, we'll support you. But you have to earn it. Like I told other family members, man, listen, 3 years, I done gave these people, we done gave them our money. They ain't giving the money back. We done gave my time and money, and all they do is fail over the last 3 years and come up with a bunch of dumbass excuses and come in here and insult your intelligence. Mickey stands up there with this elitist rhetoric and tell you they don't care about no expectations outside of the building, but what they want your damn money though. Man, man, you gonna talk right, you gonna act right, or you won't be supported by us at large. They'll still have a few people that do it, but they'll be in a minority. But like I said, that's how some people ain't ready for that, fam. And it's just what it is, man. I'm not mad at them for that, because most people run from power. You're not making any moves in your life unless you use the power that you have. Everybody have a certain amount of power. You got to utilize your power, even in your family. If you're a person that's getting stepped on, not getting no respect, which is a form of love, to me, it's the ultimate love. Respect. Respect means a lot. Respect means that you don't talk crazy to them. Respect means that you stand up and protect them. Respect means that I put you before me sometimes. But she does it for me too. You see that? That's harmony. Because I can't ask you to do something I'm not willing to do. That's respect. That's a form of love. One of the most highest forms of love that you could possibly imagine is respect. Because that's why all this foolishness is happening in the world today with these boys out here doing this, because it's no respect out here. They're not respecting each other. And they got all this foolishness out here. But at the end of the day, that's what I'm talking about in dealing with this. And this is all just symbiotic of what kind of stuff we running. When intelligence is involved, you got to know the difference between what's going on here. And like I said, if we stand up enough, we'll stop all this, man. We'll stop it all. But your power from what you did, let me just make this statement. I'm putting Dennis Allen back on. Fam, listen, it was because of your power. Just doing this and you getting on code, just the many of us getting on code is the reason why they switched that OC. You getting on code is the reason why Mickey Loomis was looking like that in that end of season press conference when his face was flush and he was talking crazy. Obviously, he was on something. But that was you because you got tired. They got an answer to you. You get on code, all the reporter questions change because the people feed the reporters the questions that they want to hear. And the reporters, the good ones, take the suggestions and they run with it. They might clean it up a bit, polish it up so they know how to ask these people. But that's because of you. That ain't somebody that don't challenge nothing, that's running around agreeing with everything they say. Them people don't make no changes at all. And them the people that's getting their ass ran around, they woman cheating on them, they ain't getting no respect in the house. You know, they got to create back caves or whatever the hell you call it just to get away from your girl. My goodness, what's going on today? What's going on, peoples? We got to create a special room that all we can hear so we can get some peace. Is that what we doing? Oh, they done made the shit cool. Oh my goodness. Where are we? Where are we at? All I can say, man, at the end of the day, man, is that it's all about power, man. Some people are not willing. They're scared of it. Some people are scared of power. But for those people who are afraid to use your power and are scared of power, the people that aren't, they're going to run your ass. I just want you to know that. Because it is a violation for you to advocate your power away. And then when somebody take the power and use it against you, that's divine justice right there. Because you're not supposed to advocate it. Like you don't think. And then somebody comes with some shit that uses mind control to whip you in your life. You don't look for nobody to come to help you. I've been saying it's like divine justice. Like, oh no, God gonna come in. Most High is not gonna intervene on divine justice because the Most High created the rules. He ain't gonna come and do that, man. He made the rules. One thing the Most High is not is a rule breaker. He's not gonna break the rules for you. Because you get warned, you get warned, you get warned, you get warned, you get warned. And if you don't listen, divine justice, baby. The Most High make the rules. Know the rules. Know how to play the rules. That's what they try to teach you in the world. Ain't got no rules. And then the demons running around following the rules. That's how they gather the power and tell you all the wrong shit. So like I said, man, for those who are a little afraid of power and they got a negative light on power, man, please listen to me and understand power. All power is you utilizing your abilities in a positive way for yourself and not in violation of somebody else. You can't expect to have a healthy life if you're violating somebody else's life. It don't work like that. You can't be a girl that's cheating on your man and you don't want to do this or take me out nowhere. So I got to go get this. You can't do that, fam. Don't do that. Because however you start is the way you're going to finish. That's the universal principle as well. You cannot get away from that. However you start is same thing with the guys. If you're doing that, don't do that, man. Because all you doing is blackening up your own eye. Because when the time come and hurting your blessings, they got principles and rules out here for you to follow. You can't be doing all this old crap. That's game. It's rules out here. That's why I be trying to tell people they got Most High like he's Superman. They fall off the cliff. The Most High gonna fly out down and grab them and take you got it all twisted. You got people. You fall. He falls off the building. Here he comes, swoops him up and say, "No, nah, man, that's not how it works." Most High make the rules, and is very forgiving. Will warn you, and you get warnings. You get warnings. Oh, you won't get warned once. You get multiple warnings in multiple ways. And then when it happened to you, you don't listen to them because of that old girl or that old guy, and that ended up happening to you. You got to suffer that through. That's you. And if anybody come along and try to help that person out of that, guess what? They gonna get it. I'm saying it's real. This is how it goes. So like I said about the Saints stuff, bringing it back to football, man, because football is life, right? It's all about respect, right? I consider respect a high form of love. You know, you see what I'm saying? You know, that's what it is to me. Everybody wants to be respected. You know, those who put in the work to be respected are respectable people doing respectable things, having a respectable ideology, that type of stuff. That's how you got it. One of my oldest son asked me about responsibility, stuff like that. How do I do it? And I started breaking it down to him and telling him, I was like, listen, man, the best way you can get what you want is by becoming what you want to get. You sync the energies and you get on that level. You can't reach for something on another level that you're not at. So whatever you want to be, become it. You become what you want to be. And I'm not saying you want to be a millionaire. You can't just financially be that. When you have to start getting the ideas, the agreeable ones that actually work in a long term, that work with the Most High in the universal principles, not the stuff that the Diddy's and all these other clowns is doing, because that's a violation. That's a violation. Hey man, listen, it's all for you, man. You just gotta want it. Let's go back to dinner salad, man. Herb, get the.
Well, I think the conversations have been being had. There's a lot of communication that goes on inside our building.
If McCoy were to miss Sunday, will you have more options to react than you have when it happens on the third play of the game?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's other things that, there's other people in the building that you could potentially have up during the game that would give you a few more options. If that were the case, I mean, once you get to the game day, you got your 8 guys that are up there on game day, and you've got to be able to manipulate the line with the 8 guys you got.
Obviously, like they ran into each other, but after doing film, but you have a better idea of why it wasn't right now and like crashing too soon or what.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna get into the details of, how we teach specific coverages and everything like that, but I think just some of the awareness of the play and how the formation was, and how they've been trying to attack and that kind of formation. I think just that awareness would have helped.
The touchdown pass from Carr to a lot of it. Was that a situation where it's just like perfectly always perfect coverage, or was it executing the things?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the play call was good. We recognized what they were doing, and I think it was a good route. I think it was a good throw. I think we executed on that play really well.
Even though it was very wide open in that play, we still kind of went to get that corner of the end zone. Is that just that's where it's supposed to be? That's where everyone's got to be?
Pretty much, yeah.
Pete Warner said he recognized something he'd seen once before on the sort of big push. Is that something you were recognizing from the side as well, or just great awareness?
Yeah. Look, we watch an incredible amount of film each and every week. And our guys do a really good job of studying and paying attention to, tips, tells, tendencies of the, offense, defense, whatever the case may be. And I just thought he made a good play.
Because a lot of your guys' runs are outside the tackles. Was that more so because of Eagles' front, or was that what injury kind of had?
Yeah, no, I don't think it was an injury related deal. I mean, they were basically getting into a 6-1 goal line look, which makes it pretty difficult to run in between the tackles, and so you got to try to figure out how you can gain yards running the ball. We got into a very similar situation against the Rams back in, I think it was maybe 18 out at their place, and we were kind of in a 6-1 goal line look and had defended the run pretty good, and all of a sudden they started going to the toss play and got a few plays on us. So I think that's pretty commonplace.
That's adjustments the Saints didn't make, man, against the Philadelphia Eagles that really hurt us in the game, to be quite honest with you. Not having the ability to run internally, but not being able to use personnel in the way to get around edges. We didn't even attempt that. And I think we would have had success doing that, and that could have switched the Philadelphia Eagles defense and made them spread out so you can run up the middle, because it's give and get. And at some point while you're doing that, running it effectively, that would have forced them to make adjustments defenses where we could be able to attack them downfield. And the idea was to cover up Rashid Shaheed so he doesn't take the top off the defense. The Saints astutely went to Chris Olave more in the game like they were supposed to. It's just the last play of the game, offensively speaking, when the Saints were marching the field, Derek Carr just misread. He threw the ball into the coverage where that's just what a gunslinger does. A gunslinger, he didn't look through his progressions to see Chris Olave there one-on-one without the safety there. people in his face, and he just threw it right where it didn't belong, man. And you just got to watch the film, and you got to do better than that to the best of your ability. But like I said, he was off kiltered all game because it was in his face. He was rattled. They knocked him down. The guy was rattled. So when they hitting him and knocking him down, they constantly pressuring him. Your eye levels is not there. It drops and drops, and you can see it happen with him. So that's what happened with most quarterbacks. But anyway, man, yeah, the adjustments wasn't there, but hopefully we can get these adjustments going against the Atlanta Falcons, as brother Jerry called them, 12 p.m. in the Mercedes-Benz Dome. They copy your stuff all the time, so we got to go to Atlanta to get them. I'm going to see about getting my brother Lowe in here to talk about it, but that'll be the end of dinner salad, and we got some cleaning up to do, don't we, family?
Call me Santa Fran, but I'm the cleanup man.
He'll sweep your girlfriend off her feet. The reason I know so much about him is because he's moved up an old girl of mine.
Swept her right off her feet and into the jag.
Boy, that dude that was cutting that rug with them work pants on, boy, that was cutting the rug. All right, big ups to the fam, man. Now, listen, I'm going to get ready to leave you guys here and get ready to prepare for the Pelican post-game report at 9 o'clock on PPR channel. New Orleans, Atlanta, this is next, fam. Next up, we got the Falcons. They're 1-2, 0-2 at home. So they lost to Kansas City in really very controversial manner. Very controversial manner how the Falcons lost, but still, nonetheless, they're 1-2, 0-2 at home. So this will be a very nice game for both these teams. The Falcons looking to get back to 500. The Saints looking to get a little extension or a little leeway in the NFC. We can get 3 games. We'll be 3-1. And I think that if you go back in the season and say, okay, prior to the season, if the Saints go through the first 4 weeks, and they're, 3, or some people are saying, if we 3-2 at that point, the Saints could very well be. This will be a nice open, a good game against a hated opponent. We're going to their home. And then, of course, we got Kansas City behind it, but we're going to focus at one game at a time. And Kirk Cousins, right now, Kirk Cousins, 56 of 84. For 626 yards, 4 touchdowns against 3 interceptions. Now, he's played, that first game was awful. He's played better. The second game, he got enough to get him a win. This game here, the last game, you can see Kirk Cousins is getting a little bit better every game. Bijan Robinson, 48 carries for 196 and a touchdown. That's a little low for him, but one good game breaks him right back into it. The Atlanta Falcons, just a quick preview, fam. We're going to have the full out preview later on in the week. But Bijan Robinson and guys like Tyler Algieri are licking their chops right now because they're looking at the fact that the Saints surrendered 40-something yards. What was it? 147 yards, I want to say, against Bijan Robinson, not Bijan Robinson, Saquon Barkley, who is very similar style physical runner as a Bijan Robinson. But he surrendered $145 or 47, I forget, 2 rushing touchdowns. I think we mentioned the 2-point conversion. But at the end of the day, they're looking their chops saying, hey, man, listen, Saquon put up, this amount, man. They gashed the Saints for big time running yard. We can do that too. So we will have to shut that down. And Atlanta has a pretty decent offensive line, although they are facing some injuries. McCaleb, what's his name? One of their 2 of their linemen, I want to say, are dealing with issues. Matter of fact, it might be here. There he is, Caleb McGarry and Drew Dahlman. Both of those guys are questionable for the Saints game. So we'll see what that looks like. And then Mooney is their top guy. He tied with catches just like Chris Olave is, 12 catches, $169, 1 touchdown. Of course, Drake London's the guy you got to pay attention to. But at the end of the day, something to talk about is this will be the 4th game of the year. That'll be a month worth of games. And it's right around this time where you start seeing a lot of the rust and the wrinkles and all that stuff started getting ironed out. And you see teams start establishing identities. They start really understanding and figuring out how to play as units. And you really start seeing that right around this time. So I expect a complete game. It's going to be a physical game. It's going to be a high energy game. Atlanta needs this game so they don't fall into 1-3. Excuse me. And 0-3 at home, that'll be really disastrous. Atlanta to go 1-3. You know, that'll be really rough on them. 1-3. It wouldn't be the end of the season, but you know, they'll be in a little hole there. But at the same time, we don't need to lose the matchup and go 2-2 and Atlanta has the tiebreak on us. This is the opportunity where the Saints, if they had to lose, you know, if you had to lose the game, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you had to lose, and you really didn't have, but if you had to lose the Philly game, you think about it, say I could deal with that. You know what I mean, fam? If you had to lose one of these games, like I didn't want to lose to the Cowboys. You couldn't lose to Carolina. So if you didn't want, Cowboys is a team that, you know, they just talk so reckless. You beat the snot out of them. You lose to Philly by 3. And then you got Atlanta. If I had to choose a loss out of those games, it would be Philadelphia, to be honest with you, if you think about it, because you don't want to lose Atlanta. You don't want to lose to Carolina. And you definitely want to beat the hell out of Dallas, right? Because it'll be either Dallas or possibly Philadelphia, the teams that be coming out the NFC East. Now, both of them teams good enough where they can both be representative in the playoffs at some point. But, you know, if you had to pick a loss, it would probably have been the Philly game. So, you know, I guess that's if I had to. But anyway, there's a lot of injuries going on here. The matchup indicator has the Saints, you know, by a few points there. So like I said, man, you know, Atlanta's being competitive in some of these games, man. So they're not a team that's totally out of it. They're going to be up and ready to play in this matchup. Right now, the Saints are in control of the NFC South. They're 2-1. Tampa is 2-1. We could kind of get some space here, you know, and put Atlanta further down in the hole with a loss, and then we gear up for whoever next after that. But this is what we're going to be looking at on, you know, the next matchup. Atlanta it's officially hate week. So as we close the door on the Philly loss and we span ahead, looking forward, we're looking at the Atlanta fail kinds, as Uncle Jerry, as OG Jerry calls them. The fail kinds are up next. And listen, they got to get this smoke. So we had, I guess if you had to pick, and I'm trying to make myself feel better about the loss, you know, fam. But if I had to choose between these games that we played to lose and these 4 games coming up with Atlanta's the 4th game, I would have to say that the Philly loss will be more of the loss I would vote for versus losing. I don't want to lose to Dallas. You can't lose to Carolina, and you damn sure don't want to lose to Atlanta. So Philly would be the game I would choose. But, you know, anyway, Saints so far through 3 weeks, the Saints are 2-1. They lost by 3 against Philly. They had the game in their hands. They just lost it. One blown out. Atlanta's up next. We got to handle business coming up on Sunday in their building. Let's give them another loss. Let's make them 1-3 and 0-3 in their building. Can we do it? Can we do it, fam? Can we do it? Can we get it happening? Can we make it pop? All right. Omar says, beat the Falcons and you guys are back. Thank you, Omar. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you. You're far too kind.
Indeed, man. And we'll, you know, we're not going to overlook the Falcons because the Falcons do have a ton of talent on their team. And when the Saints and the Falcons get together, those teams, regardless of what position they are in terms of talent, they always seem to play above the level of talent. It's always a eventful game. You know what I mean? So at some point, you know, you expect those fireworks to happen. So it's officially hate week, man. You know, so anyway, fam, y'all take a look, man, at the we got the let me see if I can put it on the screen. We got the official gear, man, for hate ready just in time for hate week, man. Just keep it a buck with you, fam. We got the official gear ready for hate week. It's on the community tab. It's the let me see if I can pull up the advertisement here. Hold on, fam. I'm trying to pull it up, man. For the rise up, the fall down gear, man. It's available on the community section of the shop, man. Y'all can feel free to go there and check it out, man. The rise up, the fall down gear is available, fam. You can get it in multiple colors. Rise up to fall down, and have a Falcon there falling down. We so petty over here, man. It's ridiculous. All right. Anyway, man. Right now, if you go and get it, and we got it, ladies, for the men, the women, all that is available, man. All that is available. You can see the onesies. All that is available in different colors as well. For the men, women, the children, coffee mugs, they got it's dozens of products available. The new rise up to fall down. And right now, because it's hate week, you get 20% off right now on everything at the pro shop. So y'all can please feel free to check out the links. The links, and the link is in the community section of the page. The rise of the fall down gear is available, man. And like I said, you can get 20% off, man, right now. Oh man, I should bet low ass, and then if he loses, I gotta make he wears his shirt for a whole week. All right, yeah, the rise up and fall down gear is available, fam. Y'all make sure y'all get y'all gear, man. Like I said, man, on one of the shops, they're giving you 20% off on the rise up the fall down gear. It's available. So if you want to check it out, it's in the community section. No, the Falcon the Falcon is the right T-Mamba, baby. The Falcon's supposed to be there. The Falcon is the Falcon is falling. No, the Falcon, he ain't upside down. The Falcon is falling on his ass, man. That's what's going on. See, the Falcon is falling. Like his wings are this way. He's falling. He's not flying anymore. He's falling. And these action lines saying he's falling fast. So I mean, yeah, we petty over here, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. All right. So anyway, man, show the platforms some support, man. Y'all go there. It's in the community section of this page, man. It's there. You got two different stores that's selling it to rise up. One of them is offering 20%. I forgot where the other one is. I think they're doing a deal on the other one too. Yes, 40%. So right now is a good time to get them, fam. Both stores have deals. They're in the community section right now. There's other merch there for the platform, but you can get one store is giving you 40% off on it, and another one's giving you 20%. So whatever y'all want to do is there, man, for y'all to check out. And also to let you guys know that there is the show me shirts is done, and those will be when is that coming out? I want to say it'll be Wednesday or Thursday of this week. We'll have the show me shirts. Yeah, we gonna have them coming up. Yeah, then we're gonna have that coming up soon. So that'll be this week as well. So the show me shirts will be available. The rise ups are just in time. And like I said, right now, because of hate week, you can get 20% off on one store, 40% off on the other store. So right now, man, shop with your boy. Shop with your boy. Shop with your boy. All right. And also, anyway, man, let me go over this poll in the comment section for the final poll right here to see what the numbers are. We had the poll there where the family members were that's so petty. All right. Anyway, the poll, man, 170 plus people. Thank for all our supporters, man, for being there with the poll and doing that. 170 plus people voted tonight. And the question was, what was the cause of the Saints Week 3 loss to the Eagles? Was it offense, defense, the coordinator, OC Kubiak, or head coach Dennis Allen? Overwhelming percentage of the family members said 73% it was the Saints offense, 17% said it was Kubiak, 7 says it was Dennis, and 3 for the defense. So 73% have won the poll for tonight. So shout out to the family members there as we end the poll, man. So yeah, there you go. The numbers are in there in the poll. So you can see that as we end that. J Black says the OC. All right. Yeah, we so petty over here, fam. Y'all know, your boy, but we right in time, man, for the show. Yeah, the Falcon is falling down, right? You can see the action lines. Rise up, the fall down. I love that. Now you got a shirt and coffee mugs and all that shit. Y'all, there's wall art. It's crazy, man. Y'all need to check out the pro shops. And also, fam, just to let you guys know, man, in the chat, man, that we partnered with Mint Mobile, and y'all know Mint Mobile. That's the actor. He sold it to T-Mobile. I think he's still a part of it some kind of way. But the Mint Mobile has great coverage, man, on their phone services as well. They have really good prices, man. Listen, listen, this shit's expensive out here nowadays, man. So if you want kind of save some money on your budget in terms of your phones, they got all the latest phones, some of the best coverage and prices, man. Check out the link. It's in the description. It's in the chat, linked in the chat, man. Check out them prices, man. See if you can save some money over there, bro. You will really be surprised the cost that they got going on here. Check against your phone bill. See if you can save some money with them, man. I know how high it is out here, man. So I'm just trying to help the fam out. But yeah, we doing that. All right, so anyway, with that being said, fam, listen, man, I'm going to get ready to I'm going to let y'all check out. I don't need to say too much. Go look at them prices. They got all the latest phones, man. They got it going on, man. Get you one. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to get the hell on up out of here. Listen, I appreciate y'all, man. I will be back tomorrow on Patreon. We'll do the Patreon recap, man. We'll go over the All 22 film. We'll talk about it. We'll do all that tomorrow. For my Patreon and YouTube membership family, there's also an On-Q with Big Q that I'm working on right now. I'm not done with it. I still got a few more articles I want to put on this On-Q with Big Q. We're covering a lot of stuff. There's a couple of more news reports and things that I'm adding coming up. Actually, either depending on how late I get done tonight with the other stream, I might put it up tonight. If not, it'll be tomorrow on Tuesday where y'all see the On-Q with Big Q, some of these news reports, and I'm trying to show y'all about the stuff that's going on. That'll be there because it just seems like a lot of stuff is just they pulling a lot of stuff offline. So, but I get what I can to show the family members what's going on. So we'll have that on Q with Big Q. So anyway, with that being said, fam, y'all just be looking out for that. I'll be back for y'all guys, the Patreon and YouTube membership family tomorrow. And for the rest of the family members that aren't members, I will return on Wednesday. I'm going to try to see if I can get Low lined up for Wednesday or Thursday's broadcast so we can kind of go over this Falcon thing. I'm not gonna show them the rise up the fall down shirt. We're gonna leave that out of it, right? Because we gracious, man. When people come on, bro, we give them all the respect in the world, don't we, fam? I don't be mouthing off to them and talking crazy to them. You know what I'm saying? I be very respectable, don't I? I be respectable. I be on my respect game. You know what I'm saying? I be giving respect. So we're gonna break low, and it's always fun when my brother Lil stop by, man. So we're gonna do that. All right, so anyway, with that being said, I'm going to get on the pod here. Much love. I'm going to holler at y'all on the flip side. Peace. And who that tell you?
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a Falcon. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, and you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, money like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this, and I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Say they gon' beat them, say who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them, say who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them, say who that?
Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. Bet Online has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during games. Think you know your stuff? Get in on our $200,000 mega contest and pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker, or unwind with over 150 slot games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Bet Online. The game starts here.
WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps